Everyone is part of a bigger story. It's a bigger story than you can imagine. It's a big story about a really big God. Discover the story that shows you the character of God. Hey, I'm Caleb, and we're about to take a look inside my Bible. The Bible is made up of 66 books that fit together to share one amazing story of how God made us and loves us more than we can imagine. God inspired dozens of people over hundreds of years to write down God's words, both for people living then and for us now. In the Bible, we discover how people turned away from God, but God never turned away from us. In fact, God made an incredible plan to bring us back into relationship. Over and over, God has promised to always be with us, no matter what we face. That's where true confidence comes from. And I have 4 stories to show you what it can look like. We're gonna get started in the book of Matthew. Here, Jesus appears to his friends and followers after defeating death and returning to life. Jesus gives them a giant job to make Jesus followers across the entire world. Then Jesus returns to heaven, but not before promising to give his followers the most amazing helper ever. Now let's jump to the book of Acts. Jesus' followers are gathered in Jerusalem, waiting for this promised helper. They've got no idea what to expect when suddenly a strong wind whips up right inside the house. Something like flames appear over the head of each believer as they're filled by God's Holy Spirit. And when they open their mouths, something even more surprising comes out. We stay in Acts for our next story. Peter and John now have the help of God's Spirit. So when a man who can't walk asks them for some spare change, they offer a way better gift instead. One that has the man doing moves he never imagined. Everyone's amazed, except the religious leaders, who arrest Peter and John, challenging them to explain. We wrap up a few chapters further on in Acts. God's Spirit tells a Jesus follower, Philip, to take the desert road south. Philip wonders why he's hiking through the middle of nowhere when up rolls a chariot. The Ethiopian official inside is struggling to understand the words of the prophet Isaiah. When Philip shares the truth, it's mind blown for the Ethiopian. When Jesus' followers received the amazing gift of God's Holy Spirit, they could be certain that God was with them. And we can too. When we're sure of God's presence in our lives, we can live with true confidence. And I can't wait to see how it shows up in you and me.